Hi there, this is James. We're going to interview Chanel Bellis on her spirit suit for a king's journey. Hopefully a few questions will be answered as we do this interview. The first question, I have a few questions actually, and one that I'm sure a few people maybe have themselves whenever they look at this deck and see the new suit. I'm just trying to figure out where exactly this, spirit suit comes from. And is it more of a like a definite answer as opposed to a part of the spirit suit? No.
I think that is, to me, a definite answer, I would have to say. Because, to me, the spirit suit represents our core beliefs and the core of who we are, right? And when we have that energy in us, it's an outflow into the other elements. So to me, yeah, the spirit suit can exist in the other elements, just as we learned and just as it is. But what is it that moves that? What moves that spirit around us? What makes us have the choices? What makes us have the decisions that we do? What makes us do those things? What makes us have the insecurities? To me, the answer comes in the spirit suit, because that's where it comes from.
Mm-hmm.
That's the center, the core that outflows to all the other elements, and that's what we ascend and move up and down.
So what you would say is really the spirit suit is the only one that has like a consciousness, whereas like you got the fire and water and stuff, and that's just an element, but it's not really conscious. Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying our conscious being reacts and affects the other elements.
Right. Okay.
Well, when I was looking at this stuff, I thought, the elements, it never sat right, and something was going to be missing. So I was looking at it one day, and see, this is where I was getting to, where I was an engineering major, and we took a lot of physics and stuff. And one thing that fascinated me with physics, always found interesting, was that I learned that there was 5 elements, to the makeup of, where we come from and all that, right?
Yeah.
One of those elements is ether, and that is spirit. So now what do? We take that away? Why? You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Why? I always had trouble with that. Yeah. Because it's such an essential part of everything else. Yes, we need fire to live. Yes, we need water to live. Yes, we need earth to live. Yes, we need air to breathe, right? Mm-hmm. But what is it that melts us together? What is it that moves? It's our spirit, right? So, when I went to develop this for me, I had to include the motivational factor, which is our spirits, our core, and our core beliefs. That's our essence. So when I did that, I said, what can I do? I really didn't know how to depict this, and I thought on a lot of things, and how can this come in? What is it that makes more core? What can I draw? What can I do? What is it? And one day, through just studying various texts, it really occurred to me that I'd read something that really struck me, and I thought, wow. And what it was this text on virtues, and I thought, that's what it is. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Everything, our core beliefs come from what we truly believe. Our virtues is that, right?
Yeah.
And our vices.
Mm-hmm.
And so, what are we trying to ascend to, and what are we trying to achieve? And sometimes we could be pulled down because of our core beliefs. Maybe they're a little bit wrong, or maybe they're just not going in a positive direction.
Yeah.
And when I started looking at the tree of life, and I realized, wow, there it is. It's already figured into the tree of life. We have virtues, we have vices, and to me it just really, really clicked. Is that that's what I devised it after, was the tree of life. And so every one of the, ace through 10, every one of the cards are shaped after and based on these virtues and vices in the reverse. You know, how we ascend.
So the reversed is basically the vice itself, and then the virtues like on the upright position.
Yeah, that's right.
So the soul card, is it anything to do with the tree of life, or is that just completely different?
No, the soul card for me was just that. It's the very, like, our truths, our soul, like what we know. You know what I mean? That's the most profound thing, and that's our center of us that we grow from. You know, those are the seeds that we plant every day, is based on the core of our being. You know, we all have personality, right? Yeah. But the essence of our core is different than personality. Personality is our outward effect, based on what our core believes. You know? So our soul is that core, pure being of who we are.
Alright. I see. Let me see. So Death card, where does it come into in Spirit Suit?
Well, on Death, my understanding, and I have to say I'm only a beginner. I'm not an experienced Kabbalist at all.
That's okay.
But
that's allowed.
For me, I didn't think it was necessary to be experienced to understand this concept. I really don't.
Yeah.
But
basically, if people want to follow up, they can. It's there. Yeah.
I think so. But what happened is that when I'm looking at the Sephirah, notice that Doth has its own spot, but people said it's like they don't really color it into the Tree of Life. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's kind of like hidden. And I thought, there's a lot of mystery there. And that one has always drawn my attention, I think, partly because it is so hidden. Maybe it's because I'm the Scorpio sun in 12th house. You know, maybe. That has something to do with it. I'm always kind of drawn into mystery and wanting to understand hidden concepts, you know? Mm-hmm. And so I am looking into this area called Doth. And I'm thinking, what is that? And it intrigued me. Mm-hmm. And I got the impression that Doth is something that we have to discover in ourselves.
Alright.
And I thought, that's really awesome. Because there is that place, I think, in all of us. And sometimes, you know, I'm sure other people are like me. You think, what is that? I know there's something more to me that I just can't get to, you know? There's something locked away deep down inside. And for me, that is that Doth area, you know? And so when we did the card, it's at that point, I think, when you finally realize everything in my life is balanced. Everything is not just balanced, but now it's like I'm living strictly for other people. I'm living to live out my purpose, you know? Yeah. I am the embodiment of God, and I'm putting it out there. And that's what that card was for me. So it's kind of like the fool. If you notice, he stands on the cliff, kind of like their fool does. You know? Yeah. So does Doth. And it's like all of a sudden, he's not naive. He's not just a fool. No. Now the fool is
he'd be the complete opposite, king. Basically.
Huh?
He'd sort of be the complete opposite of a fool. No. In a way.
Yeah, it's like now he's like this king, and he's standing in his being, and he's on that cliff, and instead of, you know, looking up at the sun and being silly, you know what I mean, and just not a care in the world, now he's looking up there to wherever he believes that God or the universe, you know, all that information, all that wisdom. And now he's saying, hey, I'm listening.
Well, Chanel, I'd like to thank you very much for this interview. I don't know about anybody else, but it's been quite enlightening to me because, well, you know, when I was drawing the cards, I didn't always know what exactly was going on. So all the credit to you there. On how you designed the cards. I think that's it. Thanks very much for the interview. I hope everyone appreciates all the hard work and research you've put into your project over the years. And once again, thanks very much.